on.
Okay, the only thing I wanted to add is that we were coming out of executive session to discuss the negotiations of the bargaining unit contracts. I also wanted to, as part of my board member comments, to say I'm excited about tonight. We have the students here to celebrate their hard work. And I thought it would be a good time to actually bring up, and I'm sure, is Mr. LeBert here? Yes, he is. Of course he is. But I just wanted to also mention, because this is something he shared with the board, that the 2025 inductees to the Hall of Fame he's actually shared those individuals with us. It's quite the long list of individuals, coaches, teams, and lifetime contributors, and that will be coming on September 25th, and that the details for that and tickets will be coming, also forthcoming. So I want to thank you for your part in arranging that, and you know, it's like I said, I felt it was a great opportunity to bring it up because of the kids that we had to here tonight. And also all the award ceremonies, recognizing all of our students. I feel like this is another opportunity to recognize our students, so thank you all for being here. And I'm sure that everyone's looking forward to the end of the school year and also to graduation. But I mean, this may be one of our last opportunities to talk about that, but I definitely wanted to get a shout out to that. I will stop there because I know we have a long agenda and we have kids waiting, so.
Well, I was gonna say something about the students getting all of their awards. I was just blown away by the amount of students earning awards and then how many awards were actually earned. It was amazing, amazing. And I'm really proud of the school and proud of the students. So congratulations to all of you.
Steve, see anything?
No, I'm going to pass and wait till the end of the agenda because the kids are waiting, so I'll wait.
Mr. Miller?
Nope.
Mr. Martin, anything?
I'll pass. So
Is your mic on?
Oh, okay, there it goes. So it's the end of the year, so like a lot of finals and regions, and since the other two Senate reps aren't here, I'm also in the Senate. So with the Senate, we had our induction of the new officers for the next school year. That was a couple of days ago, and then we're already starting planning homecoming and like the dance and also like the spirit rally and all that stuff. So we've already started working for next year.
Great.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yes.
When do we know the representatives for the board?
So those two representatives, it's me and Grant Key, so I'll be back next year. But then who's ever taking my place, the application ends June 13th. So the president of Senate and we'll like discuss that and figure that out. And like that'll probably be like a week after that. So
So we'll still have you.
I'll still be
That's
here.
fantastic, thank you.
Okay. At this point, opportunity for public comments, and as noted, the student reps are not here tonight. Do we have any residents who would like to make a comment? If so, I'll bypass reading the entire statement, unless you just want me to hear me read it. No?
That's great.
No public comments? Great. As you see, there's a statement that we have in case there are residents who want to make comments. If not, you can certainly do so at the second public comment period at the end of the meeting. I would also, just a brief comment, superintendent's report that we had a press conference on Monday with Captain, and some of you may, hopefully all of you are familiar with Captain. Captain, the board approved a resolution several months back to sell what is currently the district office building to Captain, and the district office will be transitioning to 5 Maxwell once that building is constructed. So we had a press conference with Captain, and it's a great partnership. We have probably almost 40-year relationship with Captain now. He's been providing a lot of services to the community, so I want to express that it's one of those things, again, the partnership between the Shen and Captain is a tremendous benefit to our community moving forward. So with that being said, I'm going to ask Mr. LeBert if he come forward, so we have a showcase for our spring student athletes.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Thank you for the Board of Education for letting me come today to celebrate our students and their success. Oh, we're not on. Sorry about that. Again, thank you, Dr. Robinson. Thank you to the Board of Education for allowing me to come to celebrate our students and their spring sports successes. For those of you who may not have joined us for these celebrations, we have a chance at board meetings to review and highlight some of the successes of our seasons after the fall season, the winter season, as well as the spring season. Traditionally, what we do is we invite, in particular, any of our teams and individuals who have become sectional champions or qualified for state championships. But I do want to point out that, you know, we had a lot of tremendous success across all of our teams, even those that maybe weren't invited in person here today, and we'll highlight a little bit from each of our teams as we go through the presentation. I do also want to pass on behalf of a couple of our coaches, their apologies for not being able to join us tonight. We had one coach who had a flooding issue at home, one coach had a family issue, and one coach is currently on a mandatory meeting for the state championship. So all valid excuses for sure, but they wanted to pass along that they're sorry they couldn't be here with us today. To start off, just wanted to take a look at the numbers for the spring season. This spring season we had over 700 athletes participate, which is great. Tremendous season in terms of participation by the students. We had 45 different teams across 19 teams across 8 sports, with 45 coaches leading those students into their athletic contests. So we appreciate the hard work by our coaches who help create some successful opportunities and experiences for our students. I do mention student athletes because, of course, we do keep in mind our philosophy at all times that these are student athletes, they are students first, and we're proud of the fact that our athletes continue to excel not only on the field, but also in the classroom. So this spring, we had 7 of our 8 varsity teams meet the NISFA requirement to be recognized as Scholar Athlete Teams. So that means that 75% of the team's roster have to have an overall GPA of 90 or higher. And 143 individual athletes met that 90% or higher and will receive a recognition pin for their individual accomplishments. So tremendous success on the academic side of things as well, which we're always proud of. We want to start off with the girls track and field team. They had a tremendous season. They were Section 2 runners-up, so they really improved as the year went on and had a great showing against a very talented winning sectional team. They came in second, 27-3 overall record, and we have a great number of athletes, some of them with us here today, that I just want to highlight some of their accomplishments. Riley Lynch was a sectional champion, top 40 in the USA, 10th in New York. Layla Busri was a sectional champion in a 3,000 meter, 11th in New York. We had Riley Lynch, Courtney Krowicki, Layla Busri again, and Addie Morelli in a relay, state qualifiers as well. So a lot of these accomplishments just actually occurred on Thursday and Friday. We hosted the state qualifier meet. So many of these, late additions coming in Monday morning. Haley McGraw, a state qualifier for the shot put. Courtney Krowicki, a state qualifier for the 800 meter. The girls 4 by mile was a national qualifier for Riley, Layla, and Courtney again, as well as Raquel Londa. The girls 4 by 800 meter national qualifier, Addie, Layla, and Courtney and Riley once again. The girls DMR national qualifiers, Riley again, Willa Coleman, Courtney, and Layla. And Jordan Shisnick was a state qualifier in the high jump. So I'm truly hopeful I didn't miss anyone there. Again, we had some emails coming in over the weekend. But many of these athletes here will be going on to the state championship in Middletown on Friday and Saturday. And others will be headed as well to the national championship in Philadelphia. So tremendous accomplishments. And at this point, I know that Coach Cloutier couldn't be here tonight, but I'd like to call up all of our female track athletes up to the front of the room. Come on up.
I'm moving. Dustin.
How many are seniors?
Actually, we have a lot of youth on the team.
Okay.
Yep.
So who's who? Can you identify who you are so we can see who the...
I'm
Nope.
Natalie.
I'm Courtney, Layla, I'm Haley.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Way to go, ladies.
The other thing that has to to be said as well, as all of us know, it's been quite the challenging spring with the weather. So, you know, many evenings, these girls and boys that we'll talk about shortly were out running in the cold rain at their practices, at their meets, and still meeting some standards that don't change regardless of the weather. So hats off to their hard work and accomplishments.
Yeah, that was a really wet meet the other day.
Yes, as was the Shenendehowa and as was Friday at the state qualifier for sure. Next up, I'd like to recognize some athletes from the boys track and field team. Also had a tremendous season. To mention just a few of the standouts, we had Caleb Brown is a sectional champion and a state qualifier in the 400 hurdles. Matthew Thompson is a sectional champion and a state qualifier in the shot put. We had DMR, distance medley relay, national qualifiers with Leo Christopher, Caleb Brown, Jonas Vinquera, and Jack Segro. Jack Segro also was a state qualifier for the 3,200 meter. Nathan Davey had a tremendous pole vault PR, which got him a state qualifier and room to grow from what I'm told. And then finally, we had some young athletes, Leo Yang and Nathan Golding, qualified for the freshman nationals. So very impressive at a young age coming in to do some big things. So again, lots of others that had a wonderful season, but those are some of our standout athletes from the boys track and field team. And I'd love to call up any of our boys that are here today.
Is the national qualifier, has that happened yet, or no?
The national meet will be in Philadelphia.
And it's coming?
It's coming up, I believe, the weekend after this.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Congrats, guys.
Thanks, guys. Next up, we have some tremendous success in our softball program. Our softball team, 19-2 overall record. They are the Section 2 champions. They just recently won the regional championship against White Plains. That gets them an appearance in the New York Final Four state championship on this Friday at 12:30. They'll be playing against Massapequa, and we're going to know that they're going to win and move on to Saturday for the New York State Championship.
Where are they playing, Lucas?
Is that here?
12:30 on Friday, Massapequa.
Massapequa there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, yes, Friday is 2:30, the Saturday game is at 12:30, my apologies. We also had a couple of individuals from the team recognized within the league. Ava Clementos was an all-star recognition as well as selected as the Suburban Council Pitcher of the Year. So
Wow.
big accomplishment. Quinn Farquharson and Ava Margosian also selected to all-star teams for the Suburban. But again, you know, I wasn't at every game, but I can honestly say that each time I came out to a softball game, the improvement throughout the season was very visible. They continued to grow as the season went on. Very much a lot of team play. This was not a team that had, you know, a few standouts doing all the work. Really a team effort all around, and kudos to the entire team as well as our coaching staff. And I would like to call up our girls softball team and their coaching staff. Come on up.
Yeah, Coach Tuck first. Crew's here.
Don't be shy, you guys can come right over by the window. All good.
Yes. Coach, you want to say a few words?
So I just want to mention, Coach Farquharson again is actually on a mandatory New York State Championship Google Meet for coaches, so he'll be in shortly, but he wanted to pass on his hello to the board. Also here, Coach Katita, Coach Decker, and a new member of our team this year, returning to a squad that she played for not too long ago, Coach Fuda. Ellen Fuda joined us, been a great addition to the team, so we thank all of them. Take a picture here, and then I'm going to turn it over to Coach Decker for a few words.
Coach, we're going to talk about you.
Thank you for having us. As Lucas said, I'm stepping in for Coach Fark, who's on that mandatory meeting. And we have overall a young team, but superior senior leadership. They have embraced the underclassmen and brought them under their wings, and that's why we're as cohesive as we are. If it's not for the great senior leaders that we have and embracing those young kids, I don't know if we'd have the same success. They go out together, they do dinners together, they're always laughing. You walk out to a practice, the music's blaring, just having a good old time, but in the same token, they're working hard. They're getting their work done, all business on the field. Great student athletes to be around. As coaches, we just can't wait to get to the field. It is just an enjoyable day. Each and every practice, the games, we are a super battle-tested team. We've had 9 games decided by 2 runs or less. They show nothing but confidence and composure in those games. They don't get rattled by anything. Our last 2 games, the opponents have had the winning run, come to the plate or on base, bases loaded, and we just show that composure, make the pitch, make the play, whatever it may be. And again, true definition of a team. They've bought into everything we've asked of them, whether it's a practice, a game plan, whatever it may be. They don't question it, they just do it. And I mean that in a good way. They play the game. They play the game the right way. They play with their heads up. They support each other. We can make a substitution every time. There's no pouting. There's no sad faces. They just pick each other up. And an example, we had someone get pinch hit for her last game. She was the first one out of the dugout congratulating her teammate. And it's just a fun thing to be a part of. We got great support from our parents and our fans. You see that outfield line with chairs every game. They're up and down the sidelines. They're traveling to the games. It's just a really great program to be a part of. And that confidence and composure is every time we're on the field. And just a very special group that's looking to achieve something special this weekend as we head into the state Final Four. And we just got good news that we are the home team in the first base dugout.
Nice job, ladies. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good luck, guys.
Nice job, ladies. We'll see you Friday.
So it's Friday here.
No.
No,
Where is it?
That's Pequa, it's the dugout that, there's a difference.
Got
in
it.
dugout.
The home team.
Yes, tremendous congrats to them. Again, the state championship is Friday, 2:30 at Binghamton, and if they win, they'll play in Binghamton as well at 12:30 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Currently ranked number 2 in all of New York State. Pretty impressive. To move on to some of our other teams this spring, and again, I meant what I said earlier, although that some of these teams may not have taken sectional championships, tremendous success across the board with our spring teams. We had no teams that I'm aware of with a losing record, lots of individual accomplishments as well. So to run through some of the other sports, baseball was 11-9 overall. We had 3 players there, Brad Curtis, Amar Busri, and Braden Williams selected to the All-Star team for the Suburban Council, which is very competitive. Coach Christodoulou celebrated his 200th career win with the baseball team here at Shen. And then always nice to see kids doing great things off the field. The baseball team was involved with a program to collect a food drive for the backpack program, which was nice of them, and brought a bunch of food in to help support the program. Flag football, just in its 2nd year, so very new sport to NISFA and certainly new to Shen as well. They've continued to show great improvement. They were in the sectional finals. They were a runner-up, losing to an Albany team in a very close game. Pretty amazing game out in Troy. They were down 25-0 in the first quarter and came back to tie it 32-32 in the 4th quarter. Really impressive to see the girls never give up, keep fighting, and make it a very close game. They were 6-1 overall for their league record, and they also had several players, Gabby Spraker and Trinity Eccles, selected to the All-Star team, as well as Savannah Schneiderwin, who was an honorable mention. So three standout players there, a very young team as well, so a lot of them will be returning, and we hope to see some more success in the future for flag, which has been a great new opportunity for our female athletes in the spring. Girls and boys lacrosse is up next. The girls had a great season, 7-3 overall record. We had, again, several of our players selected to the competitive Suburban All-Star team, Macy Zielman, Caitlin Speck, and Carolyn Folis, as well as Emma Wilders and Gianna Winter as honorable mention for the All-Star team. We also were able to enjoy some lacrosse outside of Shen as we hosted the finals here on our new stadium turf. the finals for Section 2 in both the A, B, and C and D classes over 2 days, which was a great success. A lot of people had good things to say about the venue, which is always good to hear. Boys lacrosse, again, a successful winning season, 11-7 overall. They were sectional semifinalists, so they won their first game and went into the semifinals. Had several players selected to the all-star team as well. Reed Metler, Grayson Sisley, Vince Goldman, Sam Gelfman, Mason Little, Noah Hickok, Nick Stockwell, and Santino Ianello, as well as Jacob Hickok, all selected to the all-star teams, first team, second team, and honorable mention. So quite a number of talented players there on the boys lacrosse team. And again, another team that really showed improvement as the season went on. A couple of rough games at the beginning and continued to improve under the leadership of Coach Hagner. So next up, we always enjoy our unified basketball and unified cheer teams, which take place in the spring as well. This year they had tremendous success in their season, lots of fun had by all. They ended up going 8-2 overall and had a chance, which was really cool, to play for the championship for the Green Division down at MVP Arena in Albany. So it was great to see them have that full experience in front of a crowd at a large venue like that. Lost a very close game, but had a great experience down there. And we were also able to have a nice addition to our unified cheer team this year, setting them up with some full cheer uniforms, which is new this year, and gave them a full experience just like our other cheerleading team. So always good to have them involved in every which way that they can. And a big thank you to our coaches who help out with unified programs. Boys tennis, varsity team again had a nice winning season at 11-5. Very much enjoyed playing their first season on the newly renovated courts and new windscreens. So again, we thank the district and the Board of Education for the support with facilities to make those improvements. We were also able to show off those tennis courts and windscreens by hosting some Section 2 championships there as well. We hosted the team championships and then one day of the individual championships for tennis as well. So again, good feedback from our suburban partners who came to enjoy the new facilities on our tennis courts at East and West. They lost a team quarterfinal in the sectionals to a very good Shaker team that went on to have success. And we had several tennis athletes that made it through the first round of the individual tournament into the second day. So another thing we'd like to mention, and this is true of a couple of different teams, but boys tennis made it a point to talk for a little while about the success they had with it and the positive benefits they had with it. The boys tennis coach and team, as well as a few of our other spring teams, were engaged in the coaching boys to men program that we've talked about a little bit before. So it's nice to see some of our teams are not only utilizing some of those resources from that program, but are also seeing some of the benefits in the conversations they had and the culture within their team. So we hope to keep that growing and continuing in the future. A couple of other notable spring events that we wanted to mention. Annabelle Corsetti was selected to participate in the NISPA Student Leadership Conference in April. So she was able to go down to the Desmond for 2 days and join students from around the state for a leadership conference and had a good experience there. Recently we had 40 college-bound athletes join us for our spring signing ceremony on May 21st. So that was nice to see many of our athletes within our programs moving on to the next level. Certainly a testament to their dedication and hard work over the years to see them moving on to that next step. Finally, looking forward to this coming Monday, where we will be celebrating in Troy at the Suburban Council Excellence in Leadership banquet and ceremony. Two of Shen's finest, Asan Alozi and Rachel Chen, were selected for that honor and will be joining us on Monday for the Suburban Council Excellence in Leadership Award. So we want to recognize them as well. One other thing that wasn't on there that I did want to mention as well, we recognized these folks in our fall presentation because that's when their season was, but the state championship for golf actually is delayed until the spring. And so I wanted to recognize Kai Chiarenza, a junior, as well as Leela Zibok, a junior. Both attended the golf state championship in the Rochester area. Kai's team on the boys side was able to come in second place, so Section 2 came in second place in the state. and very proud to report that Leela and her Section 2 teammates came in first and are New York State champions. So a lot of success down there. Thankfully, they were able to get some golf in around the rain that we've been experiencing so much of. Last but certainly not least, I really do want to extend a big thank you to many partners. First of all, the Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Robinson, Deputy Superintendent Dr. Wilson Turner. We appreciate your support and dedication to our athletic programs and our students. Without that foundation, we wouldn't be able to accomplish a lot of what we do, especially in the long term. In the short term, this season and every season, we really owe a big thanks to our coaches. Having been a former varsity coach in the Suburban Council, I know how much work and time goes into those positions, and the dedication is appreciated. Our faculty managers are crucial members of our athletic department that help out with the day-to-day operations of our games and facilities, so we want to extend a thank you to them. Our athletic trainers who take care of our athletes' health on a daily basis, sometimes upwards of 50 to 100 athletes a day are served by our athletic trainers in their office. They travel to contests, they're here with us almost every evening. And then finally, my athletic administrative assistant, Christy Brown, who is unreplaceable in keeping the athletic department moving forward. So we appreciate all of them, and certainly to our parents and families who support our athletes who are able to come and have success at Shen. So thank you to everyone for joining us today, and we appreciate the opportunity to celebrate our spring season.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lucas. Any comments from board members? No? Thank you very much, and to our student athletes, we want you to remain good student athletes so you can go home and study for this test. So next on the agenda is district level emergency response plan, and this is something that we do each year. If you notice that it's a part of our policy perspective, but we pull it out to highlight that plan as a per regulation. So Mrs. Carmen?
Yes, thank you. Good evening. As Dr. Robinson said, this is something that we present on a yearly basis, and we highlight it as it needs to be that separate agenda item. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Hillary Hofstein, our new Director for Environmental Health and Safety. This has been a collaborative effort working through this process and updating the plan this year. With that, you know, throughout the plan, there's some minor changes that you see throughout the plan for language for inclusivity and some minor updates for clarification on some of the things that were in there. And it was great to have a different perspective with Hillary on board too, because she's coming in with a whole different lens than what I have had previously. So that's been huge throughout this process. Also, one of the things that I wanted to note in there is there's a change to the standard response protocol language that you'll see in there, and highlighted in there that we had to make some updates to. Again, very, very minor. Any questions regarding that? And that will stay open until August, when it'll go for second reading at that point, but to leave it open if we need to make any additional changes and have that open for public comment.
And again, the plan is linked as a part of the policies below that the board, and for the public, the board has a policy review committee that review all policies. Recommendations come to the board for first reading. It sets for 30 days, and then it goes to a second reading after any comments and feedback. Thank you, Mrs. Carmen. Speaking of first reading, you're
Yes,
still.
so up here for first reading as well, which the rest of the policies, and actually not a long list tonight, that are being presented for first reading, that went to May's Policy Review Committee meeting. And nothing, real major to highlight in this one, pretty straightforward. Any questions regarding any of those? Thank you.
Just one comment. No, you're fine, Becky.
Okay.
Just because of policy-related comment, the board is aware that the state recently passed a law related to, it's kind of called a cell phone ban. It's truly not that. It's any internet-enabled devices within the school. So that law came with a very tight timeline. The schools had to turn around by August 1st, have this policy in place. So we're working through that, because remember, state budget was late, law was passed late, and therefore schools are squeezed with a tight timeline, so we're in the process now of going through getting stakeholder feedback on it. We have a draft policy that was shared out with the board for some initial review, initial comments. The goal is to, which is slightly different from our normal policy review cycle, is to bring that policy to the board for a first reading at the next board meeting. Have it sit for a period of time, have the board then adopt for second reading adoption of the policy at the July 8th meeting, so that we can in fact have it in place for August 1. And so that's a sequence, and so that's slightly different from our typical board meeting sequence. However, with the August 1st deadline, the goal is to have that policy in place accordingly.
So can you clarify the deadline, because there won't be 30 days in between?
Yeah, no, this
Yeah.
30 days is more of our protocol, and that's the reason why I'm saying if the board is amenable to that, we'll do that sequence.
So it has to be in effect by September 1st, but is it because we have to send it to the state?
The policy has to be approved by August 1st.
Has to be approved by
Yeah.
August 1st. And sent to, do we have to send it to the state?
No, we have to post it to the website, we have
Okay.
and there's a process for recording incidents that might be violations, so there's a regulatory piece behind it as well.
Yeah, okay. All right,
So more to come on that. Just want to give the board a sequence because this is outside of the normal
right.
policy.
And all school districts are scrambling to do this too, so just
Yeah.
us.
Next on the agenda, if there are questions related to the consent agenda items, the treasury report, and if there are any questions, I'll try to address those questions accordingly. If not, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes of May 13th
Oh, do
and
you
May
want to do the treasurer's
27th.
report first?
Yeah, if there are questions, I'll be more than happy to.
Oh,
address
are you
them.
gonna do all three together or
Yeah.
separate?
No, so the treasury report is more for reporting. The minutes, the board approved for the minutes themselves.
Okay, we usually do approve this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't here, so do I?
you can
You can still,
approve.
you
Yeah,
can
you can
still.
still vote, yeah.
Yeah, if there are questions with the treasury report, I'd be more than happy to address those questions and also seek a motion to approve the
Okay,
2 minutes.
all right, I motion.
So Mrs. Hoffman, second by Mrs. Stevenson. All in favor of consent items? 5 yes, motion carried. Thank you very much. The business items, there are many, and we're gonna, if the board indulges, try to consolidate some of them. However, items 1 through 5, because of some legal stipulations, we'd like to approve those separately, and then once we get further in the agenda, we're gonna ask the board if they indulge on some kind of consolidation. So, can I get a motion to approve the bus bond resolution? Mrs. Miller, Mrs. Stevenson, all in favor? And so we have 5 votes, and so that's a 2/3 majority, so that resolution passed. Reason why I expressed that by law, this particular one has to have a 2/3 majority, and we do have 2/3 majority, so thank you very much, motion carried. The second one is the capital project bond resolution. Can I have a motion? Mrs. Mayor, Mr. Liberty, Mrs. Hoffman, any questions? All in favor? Okay, 5 yes, motion carried. The third is our tax treasury reappropriation. Can I get a motion? Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Hoffman, any questions? You look at, I thought you had a question.
No?
All in favor? Motion carried, 5 yes, thank you very much. The fourth resolution, a business item, is the approval of ECA clubs, non-cash clubs, and classroom accounts. Can I get a motion? Mrs. Miller? Mrs. Mayor Colin Liberty?
The
Any
only-
questions?
I only want to make a comment. I think it's awesome that there's a walking club, but I can't tell if it's a tri-building club. Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, so I thought that would be great.
It is tri-building club, somebody's
It is
not there.
tri-building,
Yes.
that's fantastic. Okay, that was it.
all in
And
favor?
yay.
5 yes, motion carried, thank you very much. We have several bids. For item 5, can I get a motion for approval of the respective bids? Mrs. Hoffman, Mrs. Thompson, any questions? All in favor? 5 yes, motion carried. And so we have several contracts. With the board indulgence, I would like to combine item A, B, C, and D. And if
Oh, I
so,
see, and stuff with special.
and if so, can I get a motion to approve items A, B, C, and D? Mrs. Liberty, Mrs. Stevenson, all in favor, any questions?
No question.
Not
All in favor?
Mrs. Stevenson.
Mrs. Miller, I'm looking right at her calling Ms. Stevenson. That was Mrs. Miller, I'm sorry.
It happens to all of us, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're doing great.
Sorry,
If anybody
Mrs.
hasn't told
It's
you
all
yet, you're
good.
doing great.
Thank you. And then the next one, I would also like to, with the board indulgence, to combine the special education items in E and F.
Okay.
So items E, which is the New England Center, and then item F is the special education tuition for the respective organizations below that. Yes? So if that's so, can I get a motion? Mrs. Laverde, Mrs. Hoffman, any questions? All in favor? 5 yes, motion carried, thank you. So we have a lot of instructional materials, and with the board indulgence, I would like to combine by program level. So if you see, we have elementary. On the elementary, we have elementary English, professional learning, math, science, and testing. So combining all the elementary items into one. So can I have a motion? Mrs. Thompson, second, Mrs. Stevenson now. Any questions?
And these were all provided in the
Yeah, yes,
update.
updated,
That was already done,
exactly.
yeah, just to clarify.
No questions other than clarification? Yes, they were already provided. All in favor? 5 yes, motion carried. The next large category, we have several secondary instructional materials. Again, these have been shared and discussed with the board at different points. Presentations from IPAC, in some instances even some didactic information was a part of some of them. So with the board indulgence, I'd like to combine the secondary items, English language arts, math, science, social studies, business, facts, technology, world languages, and world languages. So Mrs. Hoffman making the motion?
Yes.
Do we have a second? Mrs. Stevenson, any questions? All in favor? Motion 5 yes, motion carried. Thank you very much. The last category, district-wide purchases, and so we have recommendations coming from the counseling department, some department agnostic tech tools, English as a new language, fine arts, performing arts library, office of instruction, and we'll stop at the office of instruction. So Mrs. Thompson make the motion. Do we have a second? Mrs. Miller, any questions? All in favor? 5 yes. Thank you very much. Motion carried. The next category, contract renewals. So we have contracts from IMS, a lot of contracts actually from IMS, and also we have contracts from Saratoga Center for the Family and Special Ed Solutions. So with the board indulgence, I'd like to combine those.
Hang on, I have to look at the new updated. Okay, so, and separate out Questar, is that what you're doing? You're including?
Yeah, including Questar, I'm sorry, yes,
Okay.
yes, including Questar. I saw Questar as a part of IMS.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment because, okay, I'll wait for the first motion.
Okay, so do we have a motion to combine? Mrs. Miller,
And I'll
second,
second.
Mrs. Hoffman.
And then.
Any questions? or
So,
comments?
I just felt it was important to add that the audit meeting that was originally scheduled, the 6th, was moved to the
Yes.
9th, the audit committee meeting, that was yesterday. We did look at the Questar contract because we have to approve that as a committee, and Carla's also on that committee. We did approve that contract, and what I want to say is that there was a 4% increase. It is $23,367. It was a unanimous approval of the contract. It was deemed, it is a professional service contract, but it was still deemed that this is a good value. It's hard to actually hire someone. We would not be able to get that kind of value. So the committee unanimously agreed on that, and that's what I wanted to report. Because there was no, we're going to approve the minutes at the next meeting. So I just wanted you to know that, along with the claims auditor for the next meeting too.
So duly noted. So any other questions? All in favor? 5 yes, motion carried. Thank you very much. And then we have 5 additional ones. I'll just ask the board to approve separately. We had IPAC presentation on some different course options. So can I get a motion to approve the IPAC recommendations? Mrs. Thompson, Mrs. Miller, any questions? All in favor? 5 yes, motion carried. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
No problem. Disposal of obsolete furniture, equipment, and textbooks. Can I get a motion? Mrs. Thompson, Mrs. Stevenson. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Scholarships and local grants and donations. Can I get a motion?
With appreciation.
Mrs.
Gratitude.
Yes.
With gratitude,
appreciation.
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Miller, with gratitude. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried. 5 yes, thank you very much. Approval of data privacy agreement under Ed Law 2D. Can I get a motion? Mrs. Thompson, second.
I just want to make a comment on this one too.
Yeah, so Mrs. Miller, second. Any
sorry.
questions?
It's to point out that the RIC that's referenced in this stands for, it's a Regional Information Center, and our capital region RIC is NARIC, which we typically use, but I think this is really cool, which is also why I wanted to point this out. This is, and I don't know if Mr. Nardelli wants to say something on this, but so we, Shen, belong to the NARIC RIC. But this resolution supports creating one RIC that represents them all. It's like one will rule them all type of thing. It's called the RIC One Risk Operations Center, which now is called ROC, and it represents all of the RICs throughout this state. I'm assuming there's no RICs outside of that, correct, Mr. Neville?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Which is impressive. I mean, it's a big move to address a big concern: data, vendor management, data security, privacy practices for all of the school districts. This is a statewide initiative in BOCES. So I just thought that was a pretty big thing that we're approving. So I wanted to point that out.
Great, thank you. Thanks for that. That's a great point to make.
So I guess we all need to.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Motion carried. 5 yes. The code of conduct was shared with the board, and now it is for approval, code of conduct. One point I'd like to note, after whenever the board approved, again, I'm going to call it quote unquote the cell phone policy. Once that's approved, the district will review that and look at this code of conduct to make sure that the code of conduct language is in alignment with that piece of it. So let you know, you may see the code of conduct come back again some point August, maybe September, just for whatever small modification in language that we need to make at that point. However, at this point, we need to do the annual review of the code of conduct still. So that being said, can I have a motion? Mrs. Hoffman, Mrs. Thompson. All in favor? Any questions? I'm sorry. All in favor? 5 yes.
Come on, Mary Colleen, put that hand up.
Okay. We have Brianne Hazelton is coming forward to accept this special education.
Woo! Let's go.
This is her first official meeting by herself.
Good evening, Brianne Hazelton, incoming Director of Special Education. I'd like to present to the Board of Education the Committee on Special Education Recommendations.
Any question before I ask for a motion? So being said, can I have a motion to accept the recommendation? Mrs. Miller, Mrs. Stevenson? Again, any questions? All in favor?
Thank you.
5 yes. I'd just like to, just an acknowledgement, the board might not be aware, and I won't necessarily call her name. The staff member who is largely responsible for putting this together had a medical situation, and kudos, she was in the hospital working on this from her hospital bed.
Oh, wow.
So I say that because sometimes things happen behind the scene, and we don't necessarily have the same appreciation of it. So please express our thanks for her for doing the extra work in her time of need. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Mrs. Gliha will come forward for personnel recommendations.
Yes, so you have your packets in front of you tonight. Several items on there. A lot of them are with our summer programs. I would like to specifically point out our retirements with appreciation. We have Diane Catazero with 14 years, Margaret Frody with 20 years, and Maria Rainville with 18 years for a total of 52 years of service. Also would like to point out the appointment of Lori McKenna, who will serve as our interim deputy superintendent, and I'd like to invite Dr. Wilson-Turner to come up to say a couple words.
Good evening, Board of Education. I appreciate just being able, am I on?
I'm not trying to-
Was it before?
Is it light?
Good evening, Board of Education. I appreciate you allowing me just to take a minute to say a few words about Ms. McKenna's appointment. I think our mantra the last few weeks has been seamless transition, and that has not changed. Our goal has really been to really think through all of the things that need to happen as we make this important transition. For Dr. Robinson to myself, and a key piece of that was who would step in and take the interim deputy superintendent role. And I am incredibly pleased that Ms. McKenna agreed to come out of retirement and support a transition that prevents disruption or any more disruption to the organization, and brings a skill set that will be incredibly valuable for some of our key initiatives that we plan to move forward in the district, from bringing on a new special education director and a special education RFP results, as well as working with our instructional leaders, our building leaders, and many, many key objectives that we have coming forward July 1 and on. And I think one of the most important things I've been saying to folks is that Ms. McKenna has an incredible work ethic, and more importantly, an incredible dedication to incredible outcomes for students. And so we're very lucky to have her join us during this transition, and I'm pleased to introduce her to you. I think she's going to come around and shake hands.
So we're gonna do the F right after we do the motion. Make sure real first.
And she's in green.
Anything else?
She's already got it down.
So like to make a motion to approve both items under the personnel.
Oh, right, the summer
The summer
support staff.
staffing,
Okay.
Mrs. Hoffman, Mrs.
Whoever
Miller.
I am.
Sorry, I was looking at her, trying to call you again. Any questions, comments from the board?
Very excited.
Good.
There was one amendment to the staffing, yes?
What you have is the most updated staffing,
Yeah.
correct?
Correct,
Correct, okay.
yes.
Yes, so yes, you have the most updated
Yep.
staffing. So, any other questions? Otherwise, can I get a,
We have
all in
a
favor?
second. Very-
Yes, 5 yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
You got the green.
Thank you so much.
Love
I got
the green.
green.
Yeah.
Dr. Robinson told me that if I was going to be a part of the team, I had to wear green.
Yeah, you did it well, you did it well. Huge
Thank you
congratulations.
so much.
Hey, good to see you, Lauren. Thank you, appreciate you. Thank you.
Love the shoes.
Got it
Oh,
down.
me too. Thank you so much.
So between Ms. McKenna and Dr. Wilson Turner,
Yes.
the clothing is gonna be like over the top. I welcome it.
So, just a quick comment, before we go to the policy, we're gonna be wrapping up pretty soon here. Because this is probably the only time I actually get the microphone and run a board meeting. And I think Dr. Wilson Turner said it, that, there's a very concerted effort to ensure that come July 1, there's no thought about what was. And all the thought is optimism about what will be. And so, Cecily, thank you for saying yes. Lori, thank you for coming aboard to lend support. We have a great team of leaders here in the system. We have a lot of great employees in the system. I see Sean Carter as one of our great elementary teachers, for example. And we have great kids, as you saw tonight. So when you get all those ingredients together, that's why, our commitment for excellence is more than just words on a paper on the wall. It's who we are as a system. And so I want to say thank you for all you do. All right, so with that being said, you're not supposed to cry on live stream, so we won't do that either. So Mrs. Carmen, for second reading of policies and approval by the board.
Thank you, Dr.
All right, so presenting the second reading, a set of policies that we have here. And these went to policy review in April and first reading in May. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Carmen.
Thank you.
Just want to point out that a lot of work has gone into the AI policy here. And so this is one of those future policies that I'm sure that we'll be making adjustments, but it's certainly a policy that puts us in the right step. So thank you for everyone who worked on that particular policy. With that being said, can I get a motion to approve the policies for second reading? Mrs. Hoffman, Mrs. Thompson, any questions? All in favor? 5 yes, motion carried. Thank you very much. So we're back again to public comments. Do we have any public comments from the floor? Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period, and for the good of the order from the Board of Education members.
So the only thing I did want to mention tonight, we did, some members of the community do not get SIS messages, but we did get one. We talked briefly about the cell phone ban, end-to-end, that was passed, and it will be implemented here at Shenendehowa. So if you do get a SIS message, please do fill out that survey. It will be important. We talk about stakeholders' feedback. We're all stakeholders. We're all part of the community. So if you are able to, please fill out that survey. I think even afterwards, I think there's gonna be a lot of chatter about this. It's important, that we hear from all, so nobody can say they were left out of the process, so.
Any other board comments?
Well, is everybody being, allowed to fill out the survey?
It was through assess, I don't know,
So if you're on that,
if you're a
and you have a
parent in the
parent,
system,
yes.
you'll get a SIS
So
message.
about 13,000 people should have access to it.
I would expect that there'll be other venues down the line, to give opinion, but.
And again, we're trying to get some also concentrated feedback from focus groups of students and staff as well. So there are many different ways of trying to get feedback other than a wide survey.
Okay, so with the survey right now, if somebody didn't get one and has heard about it and would like to.
They could reach out to my office and we'll connect them accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is the survey, on the website? Just to that
No,
point?
it's not. We send them out to parents because
It's a SIS.
the law has some stipulations of states focus groups, and so we want to make sure that considering the compressed timeline, we hit those focus groups.
Okay.
And so that's the attempt with this process right now. And do so with a high degree of fidelity as well. And so before I asked the board to adjourn, she came and she sat through her first kind of pseudo board meeting. Our soon-to-be appointed new board member, Mrs. Andrea Gallo, is here. So Andrea,
I'm just gonna sit in the front row at all times.
so you're seen and get used to what the scene is like from this end of the table. You'll be there come July 1st. So looking forward to that process as well. And so with that being said, can I get a motion to adjourn? Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Miller, any questions about the adjournment? All in favor?
Great job.
Motion carried 5 yes.
Great job.
Adjourned at 7:02. Thank you very much.